So I thought about it, and my goal is, as ridiculous as it sounds, is to get to the idea of paradise. And so I know that there's a lot of you that don't believe in it, and the thing is, I used to be an atheist too. I mean, I knew the what was God and all the ideas behind it, and I guess like the existence of the concept, but I didn't believe. I was just like, okay, it's a thing. And even though I was born in a Muslim family, since I wasn't practicing and I wasn't, getting, lessons, or I wasn't going to school, I wasn't learning about the religion. I was just as much of an atheist as anybody in the West and America and Canada, whatever. And so it wasn't until I saw a video, funny video of a Muslim scholar talking about it, that I was like, you know what, he's super funny. Let me just like watch more of his content. And little by little, I was just connecting the dot between the fact that I was born as a Muslim, my mom was a Muslim. Why am I in this religion? Why is this guy talking about this and that? And I eventually went into comparative religion, and I went into uh, I want to study rational thinking and mathematics and world um, world problems connected to the idea of faith and paradise and religion. And at first, it wasn't about the spirituality. It was about the fact that it explained so much things in this reality, in this world, that seemed so logical, as if it was a better alternative. And even if it's fake, even if God didn't exist, those ideas that the religion brought made more sense to believe in order to achieve a more better society, better life. That immediately it felt logical to me that if I had to live and believe in one thing or the other, I would choose the one that would give me a better life, a better self control, a better emotional regularity, a better optimistic thinking for myself. Even if I not an optimistic person, a better mindset, a better lifestyle, that even though I don't agree with, even though it will be hard to adapt, in the long term and the long run, it will benefit me. So I didn't look at the spirituality of it. I didn't look at the idea of God, angels. I looked more at the practicalities. What are the rules that are implemented here? What are the reasons, and why it is better to behave as a religious person, as a Muslim person, than not having any religious affiliations or rulings to follow. And so when I did my research in a really scientific method and a rational method, I found that not that it was the truth, but that it was a better alternative as to living life. Now, of course, when you've explored as much of the scientific and societal aspects of the religion, well, you gotta explore the other parts. And religion really doesn't apply to you wholeheartedly uh, until you do accept things that are from the unseen. So, faith in angels and gods and afterlife and hereafter and all these concepts, because a lot of what is um, scientific or from biology aspect or mental aspect are from believing in things that you cannot see. Concept of faith. So scientifically, faith isn't a thing, right? But faith does have impacts scientifically on you. So in order to be able to follow all the benefits that you can gain from the religious implementations, where, well, I had to actually believe and try to find my inner logic to make myself believe that these things are true. And it wasn't that hard of a transformation and of a adaptation, I would say, to do, because whenever something happened in my life that was like super lucky or coincidental or like really really rare, a lot of times I would just attribute it to the fact that it was luck or destiny or the energy or the universe or a higher power, a chance or something. That all these terms can just be replaced with God, right? So it's basically the same. Maybe there's a lot of the agnostic that are like, I'll believe in something. Well, just replace it with I believe in God. Even if you don't believe of the idea of God and the idea that it had been represented throughout cults and religions and society's expectations, just say God. It just eases better, and it's less wimpy. It's less scratchy. More like I don't know. At least you're certain of something, even if you don't believe in it. And through that process of just linking one concept to one word, you'll start digging more and more, and eventually you'll find the truth. Now, coming on to the point, once I did do my research of why this is the truth and how is it the truth and how can it be applied to my life. Now, I'm not a scholar, but I did learn a lot of things about Islam to the point where I have certainty in it. I have no doubt. And now, the goal of Islam, right, after I've explored all of its many pages and concepts and whatever to a certain extent, the whole goal, if I'm not mistaken, uh, spiritually, mathematically, scientifically, whatever, in whatever sense, aspect, perspective, even if you don't like it, you find it weird, it is the goal, but it is because it is what the book is about. It is to worship God, to worship one God. We were created to worship Him. Because if you think about it, if we are, if you have been created out of nothing, just out of like, generosity, and we are able to have things like seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching, which are all gifts, right? If you remove one of those senses, like your life absolutely changes trajectory, well, you should, you know, be in gratitude and thank the one who gave it to you. Now, of course, you could logically speaking, like thank your mom, but what if your mom made you blind? Then you wouldn't thank her especially. But then, who would your mom thank? And then who would your grandmother thank? And again and again and again, you have to go to the root of the one who created the first. That would be God. So by logic, so we as Muslim, our goal is to worship God, thank Him every single day, worship Him, and be in His remembrance. And so now, the reason we do that, okay, it doesn't bring anything to God, but what does it bring to us is that if we do it well, if we are in His remembrance and we worship Him every single day the best as we could, even though we have, tendencies and instincts and, you know, things to battle against, like laziness and, being distracted from, serving Him, worshiping Him, and being in gratitude, doing acts of worship for Him. If you do it well, to an unknown extent, uh, you get the reward of going to paradise, quote unquote. And I think, like, on a side note, paradise is a great concept. I mean, with hellfire, of course, it instills fears, and it is a salvation for the poor and the needy, and for those who can really benefit from it, that haven't had any opportunity, that were oppressed in this world. And it is a means of getting rid of injustice and of hope. So even if paradise and hellfire didn't exist, weren't real, just the concept, the idea of it would make a society more stable, or will at least give more optimistic and hope to those who actually need it, uh, if they don't have money, if they don't have time, resources, health, whatever. So it is a better, I guess, asset or outcome that can be given when you don't have money or you don't have help, reliance upon a helping hand, I guess, in the distant future. Now, coming on to the paradise thing. Um, so, our goal, worship to gain paradise. And so, we are trying to do everything to get into paradise. And there's multiple ways by it, right? And the book, there is being obedient to her parent. There's giving charity to the poor. There's worshiping God, of course, or showing gratitude and being humbled, and many other things. So all of these concepts that get you into paradise, first of all, are good concepts just to begin with. It Even if you don't do it for paradise, you do it for the act, you instantaneously become a good person, which is amazing, isn't it? And so, for my part, I was always someone who couldn't sit still. I always had to do something 100%. I always had to use 100% of my energy. And could never sit still. And back when I was an atheist, right, I had this energy where I wanted to make people smile. I wanted to be not the class clown, but the one who make people smile and be happy and help people and offer my service as a human being and to always contribute in any means possible. And so that has always been like my inner essence. And this is funny because my name, when you translate it to its meaning, literally means the one who makes people happy, the one who brings happiness. So this essence has been with me throughout all my life, all the adventures, all the hobbies that I've done. So it's only now that I've realized that actually your name has a meaning and has a reason behind it. Coming on to the point I'm trying to make is that um, when I was little, okay, I wanted to play soccer. And I didn't like it at first, but when I played, I saw that I could help my teammates and that I could win trophies, I could make other happy, and then I discovered that I could make money, so I could help my parents. And then when I abandoned soccer, I went to art, and then I found out that when you do art, you can make other people happy by drawing things for them or making histories, making stories, comics, and make create something that people could be happy with, and you can make money. So I could help my parents, I could do things. And then when I abandoned this, I went to entrepreneurship. I thought, wow, this is so great. You can create value for society, and I could actually, for real this time, help my parents since it's actually about making money. So every single time it was just about, helping and helping and helping. And even if I'm not doing it for religious purposes, I'm doing it for my own selfish reasons, it is a means to get into paradise because it is one act that is praised in religion, well, at least in Islam. So, my goal, follow my essence because it's the thing that I'm the most good at. And if you are good at something in this world, I think that is a true waste of your life. So if you find that you have an essence, you have a purpose, a mission, an energy, something in you that you know that if you went 100% in it, you would use it as a catalyst and actually like unlock your potential and do the most good, then do it because it's an untapped, unrealized potential that the world could benefit from it. And if not, then you would benefit from it. And at the same time, as I'm enjoying life, I want to go to paradise. I want to assure my afterlife. If you're someone who's actually intelligent and has some kind of you know thinking and you already thought of about investing and seeing where everything goes and where life leads you, then you will know that okay, if there is an afterlife, there's a paradise, and there's a hellfire. Well, I should do my best to go to paradise, and in order to do that, I have to do the most good here right now to invest for later. So you have to shape your life through that. You don't listen to cultural norms, you don't listen to societal conventions, you don't listen to other people's opinions. You should just technically assure your place and your missions in your life in order to attain paradise, because in paradise there's no rules, there's no people saying anything. Once you get there, it's finished. As much suffering you're getting here, it doesn't really matter, because paradise is infinite. So 80 years compared to infinity, it doesn't really compare. There's no comparison to do. Like, you think it's a lot, 80 years, but you're gonna blink one day and you're gonna be 80, bro. You might even die tomorrow. So there's no thinking about it. And so here is my path that I'm doing. If you find any affinity to it, then it is what it is. I'm trying to be a Muslim entrepreneur seeking knowledge in the religion of Islam. Why am I trying to be an entrepreneur? I want to make money for my own sake in a way that I'm happy with, in a way that I assure that the value that I create is only by me and my hands, and that is 100% not haram or prohibited in my religion. No alcohol, no gambling, no woman showing off, no drugs. So the only way I could assure 110% that there's nothing of these kind of prohibitions from my book into the money that I'm making is if I make the money myself. And so, and also, I want to have a job that I like. I don't want to be depressed by the job that I have in the future. So make my own job, create my own value, right? It's the only logical thing. And I have tried to find if there wasn't any job on the market or any schools, education that I could go and follow through to get something that I would like in the future in society. But thought about it, looking over, and there isn't anything that I liked that also wasn't prohibited, that also I wasn't going to be depressed while going to school to study it. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna make everything on my own. If some people have done it, then I'm sure I'm able to. So I'm going at it, and I'm in my 20s and I'm risking it all. But if it pays off, then yeah, the amount of insane good rewards, and like, it's just the amount of return I'm gonna get from it if it works, it's gonna be insane. So creating money out of thin air is actually amazing feeling. If you haven't done it, it's actually amazing. Anyway, point is, entrepreneur. I've explained myself. Also, if I travel, I need to make money everywhere. I need to make money somewhere. Maybe if my business fails, I always have the skill of sales and communication and marketing. I could throw it out in any market, job, country. So I always know that I'm gonna have something that can save me. So it's about the skills, not about the business itself or the things. Now, second thing that I said is seeking knowledge. Now, why? The more you know about what you're into, the more you know the rules and what are the benefits, what are the corners that you can cut, what are the things you can avoid. And so if religion is basically the main purpose of your life and everyone's life, then you should not learn it in order to be a scholar to the extent, but learn it so that you can assure that you don't fall in any traps. you know you might not need to know about the historical facts in the year 947, in which a certain scholar happened to know some kind of stuff in some market in some desert. Like, it's cool, history, things, you have some kind of knowledge, expertise that could get you some authority and some speaking ground. But for the regular people, it doesn't really bring much when it comes to the mission of going to paradise. What you do know is the rules, the prohibitions, things you should do, things that have benefits, advantages, and Islam, along with the other religions, it is said that seeking knowledge is a good thing, and is a thing that is a blessing, and so that would give you more chance of going to paradise. So I don't want to waste my youth just doing entrepreneurial things. Why not learn things about the main reason we're here? Having some kind of education, and so like people say, always have a plan B. Well, my plan B is going to have a certification in my religion, so that if I can manage to have a good entrepreneurship journey, well, I'll just teach the religion. At least like be a teacher of something that is 100% halal, so permissible, and that I actually can have a job with and money with. Another, I create value through a job, but with something that I actually like, right? So yeah, so that's about it. And so yeah, so the best of scenarios would be to be an entrepreneur, so I make money while studying, and so I won't have to think about where my money is coming from, what am I learning, what am I going to be good at, what kind of job can I have, what is my plan A, plan B, and yeah. Now for my personal reason, like things that I actually want for myself, there's only two things. If paradise is a concept that is real, then I want at least my parents to be in it and my family, because they've done a lot of things outside of God and prophets. My parents are next to none when it comes to who has helped me grow into who I am and made me the kind of man that I am today. And so there's no amount of reward or action or thing that could do to repay their service and repay and gratitude. So if I could offer them paradise because they're lacking of it in some kind of way and from their own actions, then that would make me completely happy and satisfied. I wouldn't think if I had to live a miserable life right now in order to give them paradise, then I'm all right. And the second thing is children. I mean, of course, I want a wife, but I want children. I love children's, and I want to have a lot of them have a secure future. I want to be happy. I want to create better me's and, have maybe intelligent, knowledgeable children, and I just want to have a good time. So that's about it. That's my journey. That's my goal, and that's what I want.